What up? What up? What up? In here wiping down the talk area.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story. So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, and I'm about to feel the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
Hit that like button.
Search for escape, I find a path he dies. A white touch, shifter, and he'll protect your home. Eyes in the front and the back of the head to chase away the forces. Moving, he can be there instead, so long as you bring the offense. He's got the ashay I can't deny. I am a witness, I'll testify. This on my own, he gave my sacrifice to the one who can do and undo.
A lot of times men date us and they're actually disappointed. When you're wondering like, oh, well, why did he pursue me? Why did he want to be with me? And then now all of a sudden he pull it back and he want me to chase him. He got to fucking know you and he's disappointed. Let me tell you this. And this is my shit, so I can say, I done disappointed a couple niggas. I know that there are men.
My goodness. Where are the, Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Voice of Reason, live on KBLA Talk 1580. And we have a heavy topic tonight. This topic was, I think they were having this again in my cigar lounge. If you've never been to that cigar lounge, you might want to come through there, hang out. I didn't necessarily. No, what I'm saying is these people, these folk, they have these amazing conversations and they're from all walks of life. And they were having a really powerful and original conversation, or original to me, because I never thought that they would have this type of conversation in the cigar lounge. And basically, the whole premise of the argument was, and it was kind of like men against women, the whole premise of the argument was men are never right. Women are always right, and men are never right. And men don't listen to the wisdom of women, and men have lost some type of spiritual center, and women are, it was very interesting. Basically, women are basically better leaders, particularly in relationship, than men. And of course, I'm sitting in the background. I don't want to get involved. I just want to listen. And it's a spicy conversation. It's a fiery conversation. And so I walked away with that in my memory, and I asked a question. Does he ever have a point? Do men ever have a point? An intriguing look into how some women can horribly fail some men in intimate relationships. We know men fail women all day in America. Why is it that we get so fired up when the opposite side of the story is presented? An intriguing look into how some women can horribly fail men. And I'm asking a question because people, when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. Isn't that what they say in the Bible? Right? I'm interested to know, how do women fail men? Would there be women out there willing to call in and share some of the ways in which women fail men? Why is it that we have a tough time having tough conversations? Does he ever have a point? Right? And I have to preface this, of course, with some banal, Robert Anton Wilson's famous phrase, some banal, some but not all. That's what it means, right? We're not saying all women. And then when we do this, the invert of this topic on Monday, when it's for the men, they'll have their time too. Andy?
I cleaned up the clip if you want to play it again.
How about it? Let's see if we could do this right. Now, allow this young lady to frame this up for us, and then I'll come back and break it down even further. Andy?
A lot of times men date us and they're actually disappointed. When you're wondering like, oh, well, why did he pursue me? Why did he want to be with me? And then now all of a sudden he pull it back and he want me to chase him. He got to know you and he's disappointed. Let me tell you this. It's my song to say. I done disappointed a couple. I know that there are men out here that was just like admiring me from afar and it was like, surprise, I'm a like, surprise, look, I'm sure that in a week, like, I know that I disappointed you. Like, I think that men, they see you from afar and they're like, wow, she's out here doing her thing, she's a boss, whatever, and then they get you and they see you off that Casamigos, you drunk as a fish, your diet don't consist of nothing, you listen to trap music every time you wake up, you have no morning routine, you have no core values, and they date you and they're like, damn, like, I thought it was something else.
Andy, have you ever been disappointed in a woman? I know a woman has been disappointed in you. They've been disappointed in me. How do you express that disappointment? I'm interested to know. Brothers, sisters, kinfolk, truth seekers, circle up. When I say map, you say not the territory. Map, not the territory. Map, not the territory. Good. Now, take a breath, take it in, breathe in. Let language kneel before experience. I speak from a study that spans couches and cathedrals, labs and long nights, attachment charts on the walls, sutras in the margins, heartbeats under stethoscope fingers. Call this a cipher, a pulpit, a clinic, a courtroom for ghosts. Call it a mirror that refuses flattery. Some banal women hear the indexed, but not the indictment. I want you to step to the mic, 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines right now with disappointment coiled like a question mark. Pastor Dr. Griot, he withdrew, he shut down, and I ask, Did he fold from apathy or from overload manufactured by 1,000 micro cuts from your generationally toxic tongue? Y'all don't want to talk about that, do you? Men are always the problem, but how are women the problem for some men? Some women for some men. Did his silence, oh my God, did he silence his presence as flight or as a sacred refusal to fund another round of projection from the perpetual victimhood theater? Oh my goodness. Some banal women preach care, then carve you up with cold surgical critique. Blood red pen tattoos his soul while check marks appears on his masculinity. When concerned correction slips towards indifferent contempt, that contempt slides towards abuse. No bruises, only a nervous system that drops into freeze. Polyvagal lights start to dim, dorsal drapes pulled. Intermittent reinforcement glues the trauma bond even tighter than handcuffs. When I say test, you say trap. Test, trap. Test, trap. When let me see how much you love me evolves into covert cruelty, love forfeits its passport at her checkpoint, withholding touch to shape his compliance. That tactic files under control, not intimacy. Some banal women wave empowerment, yet run the same old script, scarcity masquerading. Better yet, parading as strategy. He craves sex like union, not just friction. He reaches for skin like prayer beads, not proof of conquest. That's some men, you know. Chronic rejection tears holes in a man's existential fabric. Shame winds through those holes like cold wind through winter boards. Clinically, we log it as compounded attachment protest. Spiritually, we hear it as psalm with the vowels ripped out. Some banal women shout patriarchy, then demand real men provide. That double standard snaps spines. Liberation of the tongue, dependency in fine print. I want to know what y'all think about this. How do women disappoint men? We've heard the narrative. Men disappoint women all the time. How are men let down? Do women look at the new iteration of themselves in 2025 and say, we are better off in the way that we treat men? I would like to know. Right? I would like to know. When his payroll dips, watch how fast respect for some evaporates. Ooh. Note the smell: fear, not wisdom; status, anxiety, not revelation; map, not the territory; index your judgment. This woman, or some of these women, 2025, grief loaded. This man, history heavy. No archetype, only nervous systems, family trees, and unchecked myths. Some banal women hold on to superiority like a relic. Critique delivers a dopamine tick. Power hums like a hidden generator. I ask, who benefits when he doubts himself? Who profits when he apologizes for existing? Behaviorism whispers from the back pew. Contingencies shape creatures. Reward contempt long enough, and contempt multiplies. Punish tenderness often enough, and tenderness vanishes like a rare bird. I'm interested to know, how do women disappoint men? Yes, I know many women may call in here tonight and say, well, he did this and y'all like this. There's enough of that out there. I want to know what you think about how you treat folk. Self-observation. You might call in when we do the men's version and be like, this is not about who's right and who's wrong in this scenario. This is about self-observation. Where did I come from? Where did I get it from? Do I do these things? Have I been considered a disappointment to a man? If so, why? Are you brave enough to have this conversation? Some men stagger into the office with a story that sounds like smoke. Every confession turned into a weapon. Every weakness is converted into leverage. Every tear mocked. Every boundary repackaged as betrayal. Do y'all want that? When we come forward. Oh, goodness, I'm going to get to the phone lines. When we come forward, how have women disappointed you, brothers? Got it. Yeah, I'm on the line. Oh, I got you. Yeah, Andy just told me. Not listening tends to start it. What up, everybody? Hey, that was John Gilbreth who hit us with a super chat. We appreciate that, John. Everybody hit that like button. My goodness. Question H, you just hit us up with our first super chat. Our first Cash App. Thank you. John Gilbreth II. He's our first super chat. Thank you. What up, Jack Brazen? What city are we all from? I know we got Houston in here. We got LA in here. What up? You walked 4 miles today, and Unc can tell you I was pitiful. Yeah, you were struggling on that walk. But if you walked it, you got it done. Blessing Zoe Hawthorne in the building. What up, Hawtheezy? What up, big cousin Zoe? Yeah, I am the big cousin. Here we go.
piss some people off, but it has to be said. Not every tear means someone's a victim, and not every man is automatically the abuser. Let's talk about vulnerable narcissism in women, the face of narcissism nobody wants to address. We've been trained to see narcissism as arrogance, grandiosity, and entitlement, usually in men. But vulnerable narcissism wears a completely different mask. It hides behind pain, it hides behind sensitivity, it hides behind the very real experiences of trauma, but weaponizes those experiences as a tool to control. Here's how it plays out. A woman gets dysregulated and demands that her entire family reorganize around her emotions. She'll control partners with phrases such as, "You need to change if you want me to feel safe." She manipulates co-parenting dynamics. This is where I see it a lot, mandated co-parenting dynamics, by turning the children against their father because she feels threatened, abandoned, and wounded. Here's the part that stings. Yes, her pain is real, but that does not make her behavior healthy. Emotional dysregulation does not justify emotional control. Your trauma is not your partner's debt to pay. In fact, research shows that this is not just anecdotal. Dr. Pinnikus and Kane, they describe vulnerable narcissists as hypersensitive and control-seeking through victim narratives. In parental alienation research, we see clear patterns of emotional manipulation used as punishment in co-parenting dynamics. But what's really interesting in all of this, nobody wants to consider this abuse when it's wrapped up in female fragility. The Me Too movement exposed real abuse, but it also gave some women a shield to hide behind and to avoid accountability. If you cry enough, society will believe that you are the victim. But if a man did these same controlling behaviors, monitoring where you go, who you talk to, demanding constant reassurance, we'd call that emotional abuse. Control is control, no matter who is doing it. And sometimes covert female narcissism hides in plain sight because we confuse tears with truth. This is not about blaming women. Don't get your knickers on a twist, loves. This is about owning that dysfunction wears many faces. True healing requires that we are willing to call out unhealthy patterns. It's very easy for us to all do it externally.
Aren't you tired of the villain archetype being the bad? Not the woman. Woman has nothing to do with it, right? She's not responsible for any of it, right? I have to call this out. Men, ladies, call in. Have you ever disappointed someone genuinely? You knew you weren't authentic. Because men are always told to keep it real. Men are always told to show up in your best light and present yourself, right? Ladies, I'd like to know, have you ever experienced that yourself? Where you walked away from a situation saying, I didn't do my best. I wasn't true. I wasn't my true self. I was manipulated or manipulative. I was a user. Do you have a journal with some of these writings? He was right about me. I will never tell him, but I told my diary. I think that's important. The sister, who is a clinician, was explaining that, right? She was explaining, like, there's a covert style that men don't necessarily use, or I wouldn't say, there are some slick brothers out there that use covert too. I mean, it's not, one side uses this style and one side uses gender. I'm talking about gender here. But there are some men out there with some real stories, right? I'm wondering if there will be some women to call in to corroborate those stories. Why is it so difficult to have a balanced discussion? Whenever we have these types of topics, somebody get in their feelings, like the young lady said, the clinician on the clip. They get in their feelings, it's like, oh, you're attacking women. No. I think if we can have this bi-directional accountability, relationships will get better. Ladies, have you monkey branched? How often have you monkey branched? My goodness. And did either of the guys that you were monkey branching with, did they know about it? We got callers on the line. I want to get them in here. First is Attila from Houston, Texas. My niece is on the line. Here we go.
Hey, yo.
What up?
So tell me what monkey branching is.
So monkey branching, I'll explain it and then I'll get you on the other side. But monkey branching is when a woman is holding on to one relationship while cultivating another one and not letting it go until the new relationship is set and in place. Then they let go of the one they were holding on to. So it's like, don't leave that job until you get the confirmation that you got the other job. So it's kind of like that with relationships. So hold tight. When we come forward, we're going back to Houston, Texas to get my niece's thoughts on this. What up, what up, what up, what up? Everybody. Hey, thank you, Andy. Man, I'm gonna go. What up, what up, what up? Ladies, why are we so quiet tonight? I know Attila finna get in here and cook. But why are we quiet? Why do these conversations unnerve us? Oh, okay, Albert. I don't know. And the guys ain't talking either. It's true. Probably because the kryptonite is on the table. What does that mean? Please make it make sense. What is Albert Rodriguez talking about? I have no idea. What up, Davy Lee? Arkansas in the building. Albert, you good, dude? That's funny. He alright. He was talking about Fred. No, I don't know what's up, man. Straight elbow. Here we go. Here we go. Hey, John Gilbreth had some of that water. That ain't no regular water.
Understand something. All you need to know is you're behind. You sitting back trying to figure out where you made a wrong turn along the lines is like a schizophrenic trying to diagnose a manic depressive. No, dude, you can go back through all your past hurts, breakups, and everything else, and all you are doing is going through wreckage.
You need someone that can shine a light into your situation. What I'm saying is basically you cannot do it on yourself. So when I hear dudes say, I'm analyzing myself, no, you are not competent enough to run your own life. And that's not a bad thing. You need credit. If your credit is 450, you're not competent enough to fix your own credit. You need a credit repair counselor to fix it. Then you maintain it. Your biggest concern is not getting ripped off for $300, $400, $500, throwing it away in a dating coach or a life coach or somebody. That's not your biggest concern. Sitting back trying to say, well, which one should I go to? Who's qualified to talk to? Dude, all you need to know is you $500 throw it away and you get zero return because they didn't fix your life in 6 weeks. It's not your issue. Say it again. You can't sit back and talk about, I don't know. There's a lot of money. You lived a life at 30 plus years old and you lived up enough on your own. And you damn sure tricked off thousands of dollars on these broads. That money would have been better invested in self-improvement. So you can miss me with you got to analyze and I don't have and I don't.
Oh, gosh. How do we unpack that? The legendary, maybe people could even, infamous Kevin Samuels. I think the problem, I don't want to, we have a men's topic already lined up, right? So we're going to do this topic for men. But him saying that it makes me want to, I mean, no disrespect to the dead, but I think that kind of advice is dangerous, right? Because what it does is it promotes manipulation. Like, you got to get on your game. You got to get on your cologne game, your suit game, your travel game, right? All of these are performances, right? And then when he says about going inside, I agree with him there, right? Yes, go to therapy and get that internal stuff sorted out. So it's not a whole performance that you're going to put together. You got the right car, you got the right look, you dress like a sandwich, your hat match your shoes. You got it's not all a performance, because hurt men will perform to gain the attention of women. That's just what it is. But what I'm saying here on tonight's topic is, how have some women let down some good men, disappointed some good men? In what ways do women do this? We got to stop thinking women don't do anything, when in fact they do, right? What do you guys do? And what will you own up to? And why is it so difficult for you to own up to what you do that is nefarious in intimate relationships? Why wouldn't you call you? This is an opportunity to come down to the altar. This is the altar call.
They're not going to do it.
Andy said they're not coming down to the altar. This is an altar call. They're not going to come down. They're not going to acknowledge that they do. Really? We have no
Accountability. Kryptonite.
Well, my niece is on the phone. She's from Houston, Texas. Let's see. Attila, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Yeah, I was about to say, so I guess I'm not a woman. I'm just sitting here boobs and ovaries. I'm just kidding. You asked me something earlier about monkey branching, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's too much for me.
That's a real thing.
I know it is. I mean, and it's funny that they give it a different name, because I'm like, isn't that just the game? This is the game that it's the woman's version. What's the difference? It's people. These are very insecure people playing people. But in my case, I can't speak for all women. I'm going to just speak for myself. The first and last man that I've disappointed is my dad. And I think, yes, and I think it's been a really big lesson for me because, you know me, I don't like asking for help from nobody. And I won't get into a whole lot of specifics, but I'll just say that my dad stuck his neck out for me, and I blew it. Blew the whole situation up.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in a moment of clarity in speaking to him, I realized that, you know, had I just been honest about what my fears were, the things that I was ashamed of, the things that I felt guilt around, you know, it probably would have lessened the impact a lot more. But also, I think when you're not honest, you rob yourself of an opportunity to be vulnerable with a man. And so it's like you and I talked about earlier, you have to give people an opportunity to reject you. Or give them an opportunity at least to, that sounds really pessimistic, but give people an opportunity to have a choice in how they want to handle you and handle the situation. And so to me, if you can't course correct, the only thing that needs to be done is that the person should move away from you. And that's expected because, again, there's a disconnect there. There's a conjunction. You guys have met and you are not meeting this person at the particular standard, expectation, or just desire that they have of you. And the thing is, both sides are valid. Like, both sides are fair to me. Like, they have a right to ask of you something that is reasonable, and you have a right to say no. But I think that when you're not honest, you rob yourself of that opportunity. So that's been, like, my most recent trial. I think in terms of men, the biggest lie I've ever told is I'm fine, because, baby, I was not fine. I was very upset.
Wait.
Either upset or
Wait.
just,
I gotta ask you this.
I'm not done. I'm usually to be interrupted.
Okay, go ahead, finish. No, go ahead, finish. Go ahead, and then I'll come back with this question.
Because even you have asked me before, like, how you doing? And I'll be like, I'm fine. Again, I'm fine. Even if it's something that has nothing to do with you, because I think as women, a lot of times, if you're like me and you're a little bit more avoidant leading in certain instances, things that are what you consider to be personal to you, intimate to you, and you have not opened up the chapter to that person, you're going to block them out, right? Whether it's conscious or unconscious. And so again, I'm robbing you of that opportunity to be in fellowship with me, right? And it really makes your relationships a lot shorter than they probably should be. You know, like, women, we tend to leave at the first sight. Like, I think we have a radar, honestly, a lot of times for abandonment. We have a radar for the potentiality of being left. And so that's kind of where that role playing comes into play. And so obviously you don't see it that way. You see it as you just, you know, functioning. But really you're just functioning through your conditioning, through your brokenness. I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
No, now I don't even remember the question, but I got one for you. Will you answer it?
Okay. What do you mean, will I answer it?
Yeah. When some women claim disappointment in their partner, do they expose their limits or her attachments to illusions that no one could sustain?
What do you mean limit?
Right. Does she expose the man's limits or her attachment to illusions that no man could sustain? When some women claim disappointment in their partner, do they expose his limits or her attachment to illusions no guy could actually even meet or sustain? Does that happen often?
Depend. It depends. I mean, I can't really put a number on that, and I can't say, how would I say this? I think if you are grossly self-unaware, there is a strong, I would say, high chance, right? Most people, there's a high chance that you may have some real concerns or some real issues, right, underneath some unrealistic expectations. So really, that is a case-by-case basis situation. They would have to explain, right, what their expectation is. Has it been communicated properly? Again, have you given the person an opportunity to say yay or nay to you? Because if you're manipulating them, you haven't.
So let me ask you.
You have to be honest about that to do that, right?
Right. So let me ask you another question.
Sure.
In moments of male withdrawal,
Mhm.
Does his silence signal indifference or resistance to playing inside of some women's projected script?
Depends. But that's like, it could be either or. He could be doing that because he's trying to game you. He's trying to gain control. The other side of that could be more so a protest behavior. I don't like this. I don't like
Uh-huh.
what you did. I feel disrespected, so I'm going to stop talking. It really depends. I think either one of those, though, kind of steeped in manipulation. Like, that's the stone. And again, I say this because I am one of those people. Like, I struggle with stonewalling. I struggle with shutting down.
Stay right there. Stay right
Huh?
there. Stay right there. Don't go nowhere. Stay right there. My niece is in here knocking them out the park. I'm throwing lobs, man. She's at the baseball home run derby. She's knocking them out the park. Hey, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me. 1-800-920-1580 when we come forward. More from Attila from Houston, Texas. Yeah. Here we go. Oh, and
So yeah, you got Nikki,
J Dub.
you got J Dub, you got Nikki, Ravenel.
Got it.
Only AMWA one firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our fortune.
What up, what up, what up, what up?
Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn & Annual as among the 4 law firms in
Gotta have ad-lib skills in life. Love that.
as we are in contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on autopsy, then click on request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their name. We believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down.
Here we go.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. Let's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You know you want some more. More is the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. Get out the way. 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 Listen to this. 5 signs to show you if your mate has lost interest in you. Number 1, their reaching out has definitely diminished. Every time you talk to this person, you always calling first. That's how you know for a fact things are definitely changed. When a person don't call or contact you or trying to communicate with you, it shows a lack of interest. You ain't too busy, just not interested. Number 2, they constantly lying. They lie when it don't even matter. They'll say stuff like, oh, I was busy at work so I couldn't call you, or it's always some kind of lie. People always lie to people they don't respect. Number 3, they make plans, and the plans don't involve you. If you gotta force yourself to fit into the person's schedule, that means ultimately they're not opening their schedule for you, because people make time for what they want. Number 4, their priorities changed, meaning you're not their priority. When a person's priority changes, so does the person. So ultimately, their priorities changed with not involving you. So it says more than anything. If a person not making you their priority, that means they don't value you.
Man, I was Empowered Dynasty. I've never heard of him before. Andy, was he just, where was he? Sitting in a park, in an office? Where was he?
My man was up there lounging on his bed.
He was lounging on the bed. Oh.
Same IT, gold chain. He chilling, dropping some wisdom.
Hey, man. I could agree with some of what he said. You know? This is deep. My niece is on the phone, and I'm just lobbing questions to her, and I'm just getting her initial responses. Attila from Houston, Texas, are you still there?
Child, you know I am.
Okay. I got another question for you. Are you ready?
Almost. I don't agree with the first part that he said, where he was like, people who lie to you, whatever he said, don't respect you or something like that. That's not true. Sometimes people lie because they respect you. That sounds crazy.
Or lie to protect themselves. Yes, all of that.
Well, it's always
But see, you get to say that as a woman. You get to say, I lied to, yeah, because I respect you. But if a man says that.
I mean, a man, that's not true. Men have said that to me. So I don't know what you're talking about. I actually heard this from a man.
But a lot of times women won't accept it. They won't accept that. Listen, men tend to accept, like you say, I lie because I respect you. Be like, for real? Okay.
Right, but that's your problem, not mine. Right? You've chosen.
My niece is in here. Wow.
No, I ain't that. I'm just saying, like, if you have chosen to accept me as a liar, that's your problem, not mine. Like, and I had to look at it that way when he told me, if I take this man back, because trust me, I'm coming with the guns on the women's topic too on Monday. I ain't letting up. Okay, you know me, I'm big on accountability. The other side to this situation is, are you projecting onto that person? I think I just heard somebody call it a projection infection. Are you projecting onto that person their potential? Because we as women are big on this. We love potential. You and I are both INFJs. We see whole pictures of a person's potential, and they'll still disappoint you. So again, like, there's so much balance, I think, to be had there. And if you're not living up to your own potential, you're not in your own authenticity, why are you expecting that from somebody else?
Right.
So
Easier to be disappointed, right?
Well, it's safe. It is safe to be disappointed. And it's interesting you bring that up, because that first clip with that lady, I'm so sorry about the cussing, that first clip with the lady, she made a point. She said something like, that men will switch up on you or something like that, and they'll basically still mess with you or something like that when they've already determined that they don't want you, whatever the case. And I'm like, that right there, that crux right there is the issue.
My niece.
Because why is
my niece, wait, hold on, Attila. You not watching the clock. You just talking. We at Starbucks right now. Stay right there. When we come forward, we gonna come back and get the rest of Attila's point. I hope she remembers. I mean, you gotta let me break in. Sometimes you want to keep going, and I'm breaking in because I'm trying to get us to the next, but it's all good. I said, my niece may have had a gummy. Is she on the gummy? She done got to her destination, and she chilling now. She probably had some coffee, or maybe had some energy drink on the road. I don't know. No, you good. No gummies. What is going on? Only 16 people in the chat. What is happening? What is YouTube doing? This is a mess. The Attila Show featuring Zoe Williams is crazy. She put me on timeout once. She was like, "Hold on, why you keep interrupting me?" Because I'm trying to have a conversation and work. I love it though. Definitely. Be quiet, Zoe. Sit down. I'm talking right now. Grown folk talking, Zoe. Sit down. I be forgetting. It's all good. It's all good. Hey, where we at? What is happening with YouTube? People are dropping. I don't know what's going on. People are not getting their notifications. It's getting crazy in these YouTube streets. But that's all right. It is Jumper. I will lose whole ideas and memories from the last 10 minutes. It's a shame. I said, didn't we talk about all this?
Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes? Financial infidelity? I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff? The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How is that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I was like to kiss you. There's something wrong with that?
Damn!
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed. Hit you with a bad vibes routine. How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my nips.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses. Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
So Williams.
Reason and accountability.
The voice of reason.
Jack, call in.
You don't ever want to say, finally I found somebody that will never hurt me. It's foolish to think that, because there is nobody that you will ever be in close relationship with that won't disappoint you in some way at some time. Sometimes you need them, but they're oblivious. They don't even know that you need them. But you know what really helps me? A little scripture in 1 Corinthians 13, I think it's verse 5, that says, love always believes the best of every person. And I mean, seriously, that has helped me so much when somebody hurts my feelings, to just right away believe. I'm going to believe the best. I'm going to choose to believe that they didn't intend to hurt me. They didn't even know they hurt me. Because you know what? Most people that hurt you don't do it on purpose. They're just being them on a day when you would rather them not be them. You don't.
That's Joyce Myers, right? What was Joyce talking about? I need to know. Is there a way to get women to be... Women do put men on trial. Let's just be honest. And we're going to deal with the men on Monday. But women put men on trial. They size up our spirit, our physical, our mental, our financial. They size everything up. We are on trial. We got to show up. When is the woman trial? Are men expected to kind of absorb women's non-accountability? I'm asking. Do some women use the rhetoric of care to disguise contempt and control? Do women ever disappoint men? That's tonight's topic. Does he ever have a point? Can a man ever be like, hey, will a woman ever say, well, you know, you got a point there. I do this. Does he have to be a clinician to be able to break down her attachment style and her past trauma and her relationships with her parents and upbringing? Does he have to be all of that? I'm asking the real question. Men are on trial in their relationships. I talk to men all the time. Listen, one of the nicknames for the lounge is the grown man daycare. where wives drop off their men. And men come to that lounge sometimes to really let off some steam through smoking. Right? To get away from the commissioner that he married. Do some women use the rhetoric of care to disguise contempt and control? Could some female expectations towards men resemble disguised demands for archetypes rather than acceptance of the person? When disappointment appears, might it reveal not his inadequacy, but her addiction to fantasy? Do some women manipulate because they distrust men or because they fear surrendering to the raw force of their own vulnerability? How do women show up in disappointing ways for men? Y'all don't want to answer? Could testing a man's love function more like covert cruelty than devotion? When a woman withholds affection as punishment, does she exercise freedom or dependency on control tactics? I want to have a real conversation. I don't want to go in the gray area. I want y'all to stand up and answer for yourselves. Might feminine strategy sometimes cloak psychological warfare? Would these not be ways that women sometimes disappoint men? The fact that the lines are quiet right now, could that mean this topic is triggering? If critics condemn male coercion, why excuse some women's subtler coercions as normal? They get a manipulation pass? Disappoint a woman. She gonna let her family know. If she got a daddy, she gonna let her daddy know. She got brothers, she gonna let them know. Everybody upset because you disappointed her. Is the same true for the opposite side of the coin? Who you gotta answer to? You gotta answer to folk because you disappoint. What you do with my sister, man? What happened? Is the same truth? Nobody's coming for her. Like, let me get my niece back in here. Niece! Oh, the phone lines are jam-packed. I didn't even see that. Niece. All right, niece. Yes, I got you.
Sorry.
I asked a lot of questions, right? I asked a lot of questions. And I just want to know. This is very simple. I just want to know, niece. Have you ever disappointed a man you were dating? Not your papa.
Yes, of course.
And did you care? That's what I want to know. Did you even? There we go. Talk to me about your indifference of how he felt.
Nope, I felt disappointed, so I really didn't care if he was disappointed or not. This is the truth. Why would I felt disappointed, so I felt like, okay, well, if I slight you, I'm not saying I consciously slighted this man, but I'm just saying that, like, him bringing up concerns to me, I'm not allowed, just kind of like, I'm already out the door. I told you, avoided women, we didn't already probably clock you a mile away, like, all right, okay, all right, I'm out. I'm out so to keep going back and forth. So to be honest, he didn't even get a chance to really tell me. I'm sure he probably was disappointed, but I didn't care. I'm just telling
Wow.
the truth because I was on my way out the door. But let me tell you this. Hindsight is 2020, and I think when I started to reflect about the relationships and the
There
way
we
that
go. Come on.
I had shown up, I was like, I do not want to do that again. I do not want to repeat that again. And I think I had to really go inward and think like, okay, what part of me was triggered to the point that I didn't care about where this person was at with me or not. You know what I mean?
So
And I
I
think when your
like that.
pride is triggered, when
Yes.
your pride is triggered, though, it's hard to do that. It is hard to see through that because you're more concerned about how you were offended versus how you actually showed up, right? So, and to be honest, at a certain point, you can't even figure out who triggered who first. You know what I mean? Like, you can't figure out who did what first if you're not actually addressing and speaking on it, and we weren't. So, I mean, like, it really don't matter.
Attila, guess what you just did, niece?
All right, Houston, in the building.
Houston, Texas is in the house. Man, we got time for more callers. I'm going to try to get as many as I can. Hey, you already know what it is. JW from South Central Los Angeles. J-Dub, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic? Now, J-Dub, you got to get to it, man. Let's get to it. Let's go. Where J-Dub? Did we lose J-Dub? Oh, J-Dub is gone. He gonna have to call back. Let's get Nikki from the SIP. Nikki from Mississippi. You're on the line. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic? How are you, sister? Long time no hear from. The Voice of Reason's resident deaconess is in the building, ready to give us food for thought on this topic. I'm gonna lean back and let her cook.
Okay, ladies, don't trip. Stay with me. I think one of the ways we can disappoint men is being ill-prepared to be with them. Two schools of thought: absent fathers or fathers in the home. If you have absentee fathers, you don't get the benefit of exposure, so you know how to relate and understand what male expectations can be. I'm not talking about the physical ones, but that there are deeper male expectations in terms of feelings. Okay? So if you have the dad at home, because that's your first love male relationship in life, so it's going to teach you some things about how to be conduct and what it's like to be around a man. And it can set some expectation also. But if that father doesn't address, I'll say just the societal expectations, if he doesn't even talk or show you, daughter, about what his expectations are, have been in time as a man, as it relates to how to relate to a woman, then we can get to what tends to be a problem, I think, where extortion starts to occur with women.
What? Wait. Why extortion?
Because if I withhold sex from you, that's extortion. If I use the child support payment so you can't come get the kid, or you haven't bought diapers or enough whatever, that's extortion.
Wow.
So when you ask the question, and we hear you all talking about accountability, you got to go back farther or further to understand how absenteeism or exposure correctly but incompletely can cause you to not be prepared, and then as a female, and then you're going to fail in your male relationships. And so sometimes you fail forward, but often we don't do that. And so then there's pain and suffering on both sides because you came to it not prepared. When have women heard men not angry, not furious or after having been extorted, say, I was disappointed because disappointment has to do with an expectation. But when do we talk about what your expectations are? Not the bill, not the light bill, not the car note, not that part.
And psychological expectation, emotional expectation,
That
sexual,
part,
yeah, all of it.
That part. So I can't fail if I don't know. And so when in our relationship, early, middle, late, do we hear a man discuss with us what his expectations look like?
Sex,
So
that's
if
it.
a dude has had a mom that was domineering, is he coming to the relationship expecting that same picture? And so if that's the case, but I'm not that lady, I'm going to fail him. Because it doesn't look, feel, sound, smell, taste like what that expectation set for him.
Right.
It takes a certain amount of maturity in a lady to even be able to ask this man before you, well, what kind of expectations do you have for how this thing is supposed to go? And then she's got to be prepared for the man before her to need to process, because not all dudes can come out with something beyond bills and hair done and nails. But his emotional space may not be ready to answer that question. So you got to be okay if he needs to process that. That's the be prepared part, that we fail men with.
Right. Now, you
talk about.
You mentioned something that was very powerful. It was very profound. You talked about extortion. But then help me to understand the bait portion of it. The opposite of extortion, which is I'm going to withdraw, I'm going to hold back. But what about the baiting portion, which is a manipulative action to try to get you to do something by offering a type of behavior or a way of being, and then once they've gotten what they need from you, then pull that back as well. Talk about the baiting portion of it, even if it's nurturing, kindness, caring. You mentioned somebody who had a domineering mother, or a mother that was overbearing, or a mother that just poured into them and kind of babied them. Some men want that from women as well. What if a woman performs that, acts that, becomes the actress of that, and then once she gets what she needs, or he runs out of the resource, pulls that back as well? Talk about the baiting.
Well, see, it's still wrong. Whichever side of the coin it comes from. Because if you are a real woman, you don't need to do all that in your relationship. Nor do you want that in your relationship. No.
Right.
That's not how that's supposed to occur anyway. Because if that is what is required in your relationship, it's going to fail. I said some years ago, talking to you all, sometimes you have to show up and be your man's wife if you're married, or his friend, depending on what the problem might be. As his wife, I can hear him tell me something, and I have a reaction one way. But as his friend, I can hear it and react different.
Come on.
It doesn't mean I like or accept it.
Right.
Okay? But that's my husband. So if he'll behaved however they shows up, I'm still going to get him. He's my husband. Now, I may choke his tongue out all the way home.
Righteous.
So, we shouldn't, as women.
Wait.
Desire.
Nikki from the SIP, you're cooking right now, but hold tight. We're about to go forward. But when we come full circle, I want you to remember exactly where you are, because likely I might not. Oh, Nikki, you cooking? Hey, Nikki is cooking. Nikki is cooking. Real good gang getting put down right now.
Organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members.
Jack Brazen, you got a gang of killers.
They now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at walkgoodla. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580. Are you ready to be a part of the conversation that will help shape our nation's future? Get ready to join us for the Left Coast Forum, Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech, where progressive voices will come together to tackle the issues that matter most to working families across Los Angeles and beyond. From economic justice to climate action, from healthcare to housing, we're bringing together the brightest minds and most passionate advocates for real solutions and real change. With workshops, 2 major keynote addresses, and a closing reception with great music and good food. It's the Left Coast Forum, where your voice matters and your ideas take action. Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech. Brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and the LA Progressive. The future won't wait, and neither should you. Mark your calendar now to be there and be heard. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details.
I'm staying on point. Good point.
It seems, at least I'll speak on my behalf, that the men in my life are either angry in the way they express their emotion or they're silent. Is that pretty typical?
Those are safe. You can't be weak. You can't be soft. You can't be as simp as they say. If you're just angry, if you're silent, you look stoic now. Oh, he must be strong because nothing ever phases him. And so men, anger is a very safe emotion to express. When our feelings are hurt, we're angry. When we're sad, we're angry. When we lose, we're angry. It's a surface emotion. That's why I tell men to dig deep. What are you really feeling? And I can compare it to masculinity, to the crayon analogy in this book. As men, we stay within the 8 box of crayons, okay? And they pull out 4. Women have 64.
That's why we confuse you so much.
But this is interesting. We were created for all of those emotions. They're not exclusive to you. It's there, but we've been hoodwinked by allowing society to define what a man is. And so when women are communicating with us, They may pull out, I use the analogy of the color violet, and all we have is purple. We can't meet the moment. Or even more complex issues, they ask for lime, and we're trying to put green and yellow together. And because men, we're not used to expressing the gamut of emotions that we have as human beings, we can't meet the moment.
Man, Jason Wilson and Mel Robbins cooking with the rarest grease. But you know, nobody's grease is hotter than the fish grease down in Mississippi from Deaconess Nikki from the SIP. She was cooking, and I want her to continue the work that she was doing before we press into these other callers. Nikki, please, please give me the rest of that recipe you were laying down.
Well, I just think we should be careful about bait. Baiting is, I get a visual. You're taking something that might be real or not, and you put it on a hook with the purpose of drawing the attention of something you want to do one of two things with. You either want to catch it and put it on a plate, or you want to throw it back.
Got
Now,
it.
if we're baiting our men, then we may be in a position where he's going to want to throw us back. And throwing us back can look like a lot of different things without him leaving.
Just changing how he shows up, changing how he engages, how he participates.
My presence.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. And see, that's not a genuine place we should be anyway. If it's a relationship you want to last, why do we keep doing things that kill the relationship before it even gets started? That's why I said we show up unprepared, either because we haven't had exposure and understanding of what male emotions look like, to understand that there is an expectation that they have, or if we have had males in our lives and in our homes, but they don't teach us about their emotions,
right,
and what expectation looks like. See, now I'm going to get that outside the home, and it's going to be messed up.
Man, Nikki, you know what? I don't hear from you enough, but when I do hear from you, boy, it's like, what was that? Ritz crackers? That was delicious. My goodness. Guess what you just did, Nikki?
I still love everybody, and I'm about to sip in the building.
Nikki from Mississippi. If you want to bring your city in the building, you know what you got to do. All you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. We got, let's see, we got a lot of callers.
We got Reverend L. Dallas.
We got Reverend L. Dallas.
Sean Oakland.
J-Dub,
South Central.
J-Dub got back in South Central.
And we got Brother Leroy from Inglewood.
And we got Brother Leroy from Inglewood. Listen, we all over the nation right now. We're about to get it cracking. Don't miss a thing. When we come forward, you don't want to miss any of these voices. Let's go.
Relationships. Got you confused? Some street talk?
So Leroy wants to go last. He wants everybody to go. Loki didn't want to come on at all.
Really?
But you know me, I begged him. I was like, bro, you really called? We ain't heard from you. Please do me a favor. Stay on hold. But he wants to make sure that everybody
is done.
Is done, and then he'll come in.
Okay, cool. I love it. So, y'all know there's two, I'm Gemini, so there's two Zoes, right? Radio Zoe, different kind of presentation. This what the person talking to you right now is real Zoe. I use communication, right, to create destabilizing conversations so people can see themselves. That's the whole purpose of what I'm doing. I want to create a conversation that destabilizes your norm, that interrupts. Do you see? Sometimes I'll ask you to do something. Now, John Gilbreth learned a little bit of this when he was in the lounge, right? He was in a lounge and he's talking to people who know me, who consider me their big brother. And they're telling him, like, no, 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 no. Zoe has a method. He knows how to throw a psychological grenade and he'll get out of there before the grenade goes off. But then he's over there observing and watching the grenade and the aftermath of it. So John is like, oh, I see. Because what I realize is coming direct at people, now radio's different, but coming direct at people, they get defensive. Like, oh, no, 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 no. You see what I'm saying? The nature of these topics. What in the world, David O? The nature of these topics are designed to get you out of what you think makes sense. I want you to understand why that's important. What you think makes sense only makes sense to you. Because what you think makes sense comes from a direct experience that you've had. And whatever truth you come up with, it's usually rooted in the experience that you've had. And you haven't had all experiences. There is a term called perspectivity, which is talking about the expanse of perspective, right? And that's important. Your perspective should be multifaceted like a diamond. If you got 3 facets in your perspective, how brilliant will you be? How brilliant will your point of view be? That's the whole purpose of this show. I want you uncomfortable, but I want you to start walking while you're uncomfortable. You can only see what the eye can catch, but ignorance is bliss. Connect the thoughts there. Did I say anything double or triple? I hope I didn't. He said, don't say it. Wow. I'm going to drink my water on that. Come on, man. Y'all got to stop. All right, I'm going to get all these callers.
Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you sent a court bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do you do when thousands have you plead guilty, whether you are or not? Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bell Project helps those who can't afford it or fighting to enforce bail. Because freedom.
No, he not. Davy Lee, what up?
Stand on my trauma, so that means I'm at the end of my healing journey. You, my friend, are at the very beginning. Understanding what triggers you is a good first step. Having a level of honesty where you don't convince yourself. Almost double. Trust me, you don't want to be out here. It's hot.
It's okay, we do.
Give me some space so I can knock it out real quick. It's okay. I'm coming. Big house full of toys and games, and y'all are good. Okay. All right. I'll come and get y'all when I'm done. I promise. See, like that triggers me. Let's walk through this. Why does that trigger me? I'm triggered because I feel like they don't have the right to be bored. A gigantic, beautiful house in the safe suburbs. Parents that can afford a good living for them. More toys than they could ever play with. AC blasting at 68 degrees. There's so many things in that house that I never had. But they don't care about my past, no should they. So I have an irrational belief that they don't have the right to be bored because their upbringing is different than mine. Is that fair to them? No. Not at all. I may not like how what they said made me feel, but that's my thing to deal with. It doesn't have to turn into their thing to deal with because it negatively impacts me. And bored is just a feeling. They have the right to be bored. So while part of me wanted to give a lecture, instead I just asked for space. You have the right to feel a way that makes me feel a way without me having to retaliate in some way. Just being a human sometimes you're responsible it'll make you lash back out. So in order that I do that, nah, give me some space, give me a little room. I can hear a thing that made me uncomfortable and be okay. You can be bored for a little bit and be okay. But I'm trying to do a better job of not turning small things into bigger things because they trigger me. Did I set off my trigger? No. But my triggers are my responsibility to see coming, my responsibility to react to, my responsibility to navigate through safely. My childhood is...
Come on, Kier. Is that his name? Kier? Kier Gaines. Man, I like what he laid down. He laid it down right. It was balanced. I love that. Man, listen, the phone lines are jammed. I'm going to the phone lines. I want you guys to be concise. Say what you need to say. Take off from the free throw line. Dunk with a blindfold. But keep it short and sweet. Brevity. That's what we need. But a lot of people are here and they want to talk. Who's up next?
J-Dub.
J-Dub, get in here right now, J-Dub. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Thank you, man. Let me get back. Yeah, I'll make it real brief and land this plane. Yeah, like I stated in earlier shows, we're all dysfunctional, and your first therapist that you played mentioned that we're dysfunctional, and we don't have the capacity to be emotional or have feelings. Once before I mentioned the Nika really dope discussions, and she says the same thing about her term is modern genetic modified woman, which is usually the females in this generation, but it still goes back to, like I mentioned, to my generation, because I told you I'm 69 years old, and one of the shows you were talking about how men use tools or whatever they are, the subject that was, such as a car or whatever it was, money, and, you know, the trapper girl.
Sure.
And I said I remember that in high school, because that's something we all are taught by society. And in every show, I always mention the word we're dysfunctional because of society. And there are double standards. And yes, women know how to be patriarch of the family because they got pillow talk and they know how to make men think that they are the boss. But women know how to be, I won't use that term, I'm more nice and just to say they are subtle and they know how to manipulate better than men. And I really think that, in spite of what the other subject matter that said, men are, talks of society have we believe that women are smarter than men or whatever. Well, I do truly believe that women do mature earlier, and I believe that it is physical and scientific facts. And so I believe they do have the capacity because they let you think that you caught them, the hunter catches the game, but the game caught the hunter. But
Oh.
women size you up way before. You know
All
that
right.
you like them. They got songs about that. Anyway, I just ran up playing. I'm done.
Okay, brother, I appreciate you. Hey, I know you got plenty more to say. Come on now. We love JW. JW, but he won't even let me set him up to leave. JW said, I got more to say, and I'm just JW, call me on Monday, man. At the beginning of the show, I'm gonna let you ride. Because I know you got some things to get off your chest. JW's one of my favorites, man. Now, let's keep it pushing. We've got time. Yeah, we got time. All right. Rev L. Ratchet, Dallas, Texas. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic? Let's go.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it kind of short. I feel like women are the products of the film now. It's men's fault that we dropped the bar so low, so women think they're achieving. Is emotional inflation. So how does the $40 box and the same $1,000 box the same? It's not. Basic economics, but these simps have poisoned the pool. I'm not saying don't have self-respect. I'm saying the basics are overvalued and overhyped now for no reason other than personal greed on both ends. We all have a point. It's just that some bootlickers that are always in a woman's amen corner knowing that they're wrong and two left shoes, and they always want to feel like they want to get their foot through the door. So we make a point, but it's the wrong people making the point. I'm done.
No. No, you're not. You can't come in here. Hold on. One question.
Yes.
Would you say that the bar for like conscious relating, real relationships with real people, naked, raw, real, unedited, would you say the bar for that is low across the board, irrespective of gender?
Absolutely.
That's where I'm at with it. Because, listen, women who are running amok need men who are running amok. You attract what you are, right? Relationship is a mirror, right?
Yes.
So this is what's being spoken of on social media most of the time. These are the types of relationships that are in existence. That doesn't mean there aren't good relationships, right?
Yeah, I follow you.
So you're saying they're in the minority.
I'm saying that's part of the minority, but when it comes to what you just said, it's hard to find that vulnerability with somebody because you've been played and done over so bad so many times. So it's easier to play the fool and run into another fool because the fools are easy to find.
Ooh. Hey, come on, man. What did you just do, my brother?
About Dallas, Texas in the building.
Dallas, Texas is in the house. Listen, when we come forward, one of the legends, voice of reason legends, in the building. I'm going to get out of his way and allow him to cook. Leroy from Inglewood. Get ready. By the way, today is my granddaughter's birthday, so you guys give Nuri Hoops a little shout out. Just say what's up. Say what's up to little Nuri Hoops. She's 7, man. Those 7 years went like Like, what the hell? I mean, like,
Why did I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand.
yes, she is a cutie pie.
Right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk
My
of
7-year-old munchkin.
symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness become known.
It really feels like
You have symptoms.
having my daughter all over again.
Visit notimetowait.com.
My daughter at 7 was straight comedy.
An official message from
I think she will, because she's already like athletic and bouncy. Like me and Nu was looking at her, she was blocking these girls' shots. So I was like,
So I went straight to the official
he and I looked at each other like,
Medicare.gov to get my
huh.
thoughts about Medicare. I found the
She
answers to
might-
all my questions, and I'm ready to get started.
like,
And so can you.
if
Go to Medicare.gov.
she fuck around and get your bounce, your hops, your. Now, what y'all don't know is my daughter was super athletic too. She just, you can't punk her into doing something. Like, she has to choose it. And she didn't choose it until too late. You can't be like, you gonna play hoop because your brother played hoop and I play. You can't do that. So she chose hoop too late. But my daughter is athletic than a motherfucker. And a righty, shoot it. Boy, can shoot it. Man. Nuri boots might be dunking. Nuri hoops. Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason. My playlist is my co-host. Hey man, y'all ain't heard this 50 in a long time. Hey, you already know what it is. KVLA Talk 1580, the voice of reason is on complete fire. One of our favorite callers is on the line right now. I want to get him in here right now. Leroy from Inglewood, what say ye?
Greetings. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You online. Let's talk, brother.
Man, I appreciate you, man. I just want to thank you for the great work you've been doing, staying steady, being consistent,
Thank you, brother.
dropping the knowledge in a form where people can receive it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how valuable your show was and has been until I was listening recently to The Diary of a CEO with the title, Why Women Are Addicted to Toxic Men.
Mm.
That was the title. And there was a female psychologist or psychiatrist dealing with behavior and relationships. And she was dropping the clinical version of some of the same information you present here on these airways.
Mm-hmm.
And she went back into childhood. As a matter of fact, the first thing she said was, don't blame your mama. I refuse to allow you to blame your mother for these attachment styles that you may be plagued with. I'm rephrasing her statements, but you get the point.
Mm-hmm.
And she touched on many of the same things you touch on, but in a clinical fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And it was refreshing to hear that, and now it's even more refreshing to hear you once again. And so I just want to say thank you for your consistency.
Oh, absolutely, brother. No, thank you. I appreciate you for coming in and dropping the jewels that you do whenever you call in. You know we love it, brother.
That's right. Now, I just want to just touch briefly on what I heard from Atala
Yes.
and Nikki. You know, they must have read what I wanted to say. Yeah. I know. But I'm hurt, so I don't care. Right? When I'm hurting, I'm gonna hurt you, and I don't care how you hurt.
That's what she said,
Regardless
man.
of how I show up.
Yeah.
And Nikki said, well, a lot of us women come into relationships unprepared.
That's what she said. I was here.
Right. And notice she made it about being unprepared to be in relationship with a man.
Right.
She didn't make it about a lot of other stuff.
Right.
She made it about being unprepared to be in a relationship with a man. And she was inferring long term. And I found, personally, dealing with high school students, dealing with college students, and learning how to speak womanese, because I don't speak woman. I had to get a translator.
Womanese. I hear you.
I had a womanese translator. So thank you, Nikki and Atala, for some of your translations.
Right.
What's my sister's name? Deshauna Johnson, some of the translations.
Yes.
I need translators. I'm acknowledging my ignorance in that language level. But I found that a lot of women from teenage to about 35, 38, they can see how things affect them, but they can't see themselves.
So the end result of the end result of the effect, right? Like the pain of it, but not see themselves. And I know what you mean by solipsism. I totally follow you with that. Please continue.
Yeah. I now you touched on these things, and Atala has touched on them, and Nikki has touched on them, and that's why I'm going back into them. Literally, and I mean this not in an ugly way. They literally cannot see themselves. They can see what somebody else is doing. They can see how they felt. But they can't see themselves. It's like Charlie's window, that room is blocked. And unless they are surrounded by healthy, supportive circles of women who are typically a little older, not competing with them, that are in healthier long-term relationships, if they don't have that around them, it's always somebody else's fault. Notice my age range is between 16 and like 35, 38-ish. They just literally can't see themselves. And they'll argue with you, and they'll fight with you, and they'll fuck with you. And if you are a grown man, and you go back and forth with that, shame on me. Because I should know myself well enough to not be engaging in a back and forth with someone who literally can't see themselves. So I'm going to stop right there because I want to give somebody else time.
Hey man, we love you, brother. We love you. We love it when you come in. We love it when you cook. If you got a minute and a half more, you got it. I'm gonna extend that to you. Just that's on the radio EBT card. Go ahead, you got it.
Well, okay. Let me just say this once again. Thank you. Thank you for being the healing.
Yes, sir, brother.
Joy DeGru, Queen Afua, Francis Crest Wilson, Patricia Newton, these women who have been healers, the Shahrazad Ali's in another lane, but still healers. I'm thanking you. I love it when you get the women on. I love it when you let them cook, when you let them go, you let them flow. I love when you bring the female psychologists and psychiatrists and healers on.
Yeah.
And you represent a male perspective without being ugly to the women. I love that about you, brother.
Thank you, brother.
I love your consistency. I love your clarity where you take these complex ideas in a clinical form and represent them to us in a way that we can receive them and then go check them out for ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that I have been listening long enough so that when I heard it in a different way, I still recognize where I first understood it from.
Wow. Thank you, brother.
All right? And so I'm thanking you. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm familiar with all these terms, but in terms of the public parlance, you have been one of the most consistent promoters. And I say thank you
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Now, guess what you just did, my brother?
City of Champions, baby, Inglewood,
You
back in the house.
already know what it is. It's Inglewood, the city of champions, man. Love that brother, Leroy, man. I love that brother. He always comes in and gives us something to think about. And again, that's why I prefaced the beginning of this topic with the term that Robert Anton Wilson made famous in his books, Prometheus Rising, Quantum Psychology, and many others, some but all, right? Some but not all, right? I put that there, that term there, because some but not all men are toxic. Some but not all women are toxic, right? There are some healthy brothers, some healthy sisters, and we tend to attract what we've conquered within ourselves, right? And we tend to attract what we repress and suppress within ourselves. And the purpose of this topic was to say, hey, we got to stop doing unidirectional things or having unidirectional discussions about conflict and disappointment and dissatisfaction in relationships. Men aren't the sole culprit of dissatisfaction in relationships. Sometimes it's women. Sometimes women can be as greedy as men. You've heard women say, you know nothing about a woman's sex drive. She might be more sexual, way more sexual than the average man. We always try to make it seem like the men lead every aspect of things. We don't. We don't. And we got to get comfortable having uncomfortable conversations. Some banal women cite personal hurt to rationalize harmful behavior. That's something that has to be dealt with. You can't rationalize your harmful behavior, right, towards others because you've been through something. Leroy just said he was watching a clinician basically say, don't blame your mama, right? Okay, so you got personal hurt. Don't rationalize your harmful behavior towards others. I felt unsafe, so I checked your phone. You made me do it. You trying to tell me men aren't disappointed with that kind of behavior? And there are myriad other examples. But why don't we always have these conversations and start pointing these things out? Because people are afraid. Guess what? The voice of reason is just getting started. I'm not even going to finish that thought because guess what? I got 15 seconds before my weekend starts. Guess what? We had a great week this week, all fire topics. I'll be back next week with a whole slew of something for you to chew on. I'll holla. Oh. All right, y'all. I'm out.